Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? How are you? This is your boy, Mr. Chozo. Yeah, so today I would basically want to talk about how to behave when you're attending an interview, what you do when you go for an interview. There are a few tricks here and there that you're supposed to do as you go for an interview. Now, before I start talking about that, I have attended so many interviews myself. Some have been a flop, and some have been successful, but the majority I have been successful. And in those successful interviews, I had to turn down certain offers and accept certain offers. So for you to perform better in an interview, number one, you have to be you have to prepare for the interview. You just don't go for the interview. You just don't wake up and go for the interview. Sorry guys, my camera is not the lighting system is not good, but the next videos I'm going to work on the lighting system. Okay, so um, when you go for before you go for an interview, once you're called for an interview, you make sure if you have to break the night, just break the night. It's okay because it's going to be, it's going to be beneficial to you at the end of the day. Now, what I mean by preparing is, let's say I'm a food scientist. When I'm called for an interview, definitely have to, you know, um, read through. Of course, I may have the the points with me of what I'm going to talk about, but it's just important to just look at different aspects and different things that are involved in food science because you don't know what they're going to ask you in an interview. Some interviews I've gone to, they've asked me questions that I never even expected that are going to ask me. So um, when you're preparing for the interview, you look at obviously the basics of your profession. Okay, like for me, like the basics. Let's say I'm going for um, a job interview for a food safety manager, or let's say maybe quality assurance. Definitely, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at different different things. So, like for example, in food safety, if I want to become a food safety manager and I've been called for an interview, I'll definitely know what food. I have to know what food safety is, what is HACCP, what are the 7 principles of HACCP, what are the 12 steps of HACCP. You know what I'm saying? So as a quality man, if I'm going for a quality job, then I have to know about maybe ISO 9001, which is like the 2015 standard. I have to read through and just have an idea of um, basically what I'm going for. And then the other thing is, while you're preparing, you make sure you really have to have a CV because I mean, you cannot have a CV that you cannot explain to someone. So you have to know your CV very well. You don't wrote the CV, definitely you have to know. You don't want a situation where someone asks you a question from your CV and you look so perplexed and surprised about your own CV. So you have to definitely read through your CV. Just have a panoramic view of what is there. In case you wrote it maybe 6 years ago or 5 years ago, depending on when you started your work. And then number two, you have to look at the possible questions. And usually in interviews, you don't answer questions like you're answering them in an exam. No. So there are certain techniques and tactics that you're supposed to use when you're being asked questions. Obviously, the questions that you're going to definitely find in an interview is one, you ask you obviously questions like, tell us about yourself. Then you just go like, da 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 da, my name is Joel Mtelo. So, um, uh, yeah, I've come for the interview. My name is Joel. No, they don't want you just talk about your name. Obviously, they're asking you about your background. You have to know your background very well. It's your background. You're supposed to speak about your background. So here, when we're talking about the background, we're talking about your academic background. So, like for example, if someone asks me, tell us about yourself. So what I'm going to say, I'm not going to start saying, no, I like chicken, I love going out, I love doing this and that. So basically, I'm going to tell them about my academic life. So I'll tell them, no, I went to this high school. From this high school, I went to this place. From this place, I went there. I did this, and I achieved this. And then, yeah, now I'm here. I'm here for this, for this job. I'm here for this job. Definitely, you have to ace the job. You have to ace the interview so that you get the job. I mean, that's the whole point of this video, is to really help the young ones. Oh, no, no, it's not like I'm old anyway. Yes, to help some people who've really like done not done so in interviews. I remember my second interview that I had at a certain organization. It was really, 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 really bad. I even started asking myself questions like, really, what's really the problem? Is it me who is the problem, or is it, yeah, it was so depressing. But I had to pick myself up. I had to start researching on how to attend interviews. The thing is, in interviews, you may actually have very good points and no answers, but how you answer is very, very, very important and very critical. So as you're answering questions in the interview, sorry, somebody just texted me. Yeah. So as you're answering questions in the interview, you really have to be confident about what you're saying. You know. So like the second interview, when I went for the second interview, I just went with my, I had a folder with my qualifications in there, and everything was tucked in there. Then I went. Before they even told me to get a seat, I grabbed a seat, I sat, made myself comfortable, and all those things. But I mean, for protocol and procedural, um, you know, things, you just get there. They will have to direct you. Oh, you are sitting there. You take your seat there, and then you sit comfortably. If you've got a bag, put the bag definitely under, next to you, just besides your chair. Okay, and then look relaxed, look so composed, and also just make sure you don't lose your eye contact. If you're looking at somebody, look at them confidently, but no, not too much. But yeah. And then sometimes it's good to look at someone just above the head. But they should not notice that you're looking at them above the head. Yeah, just try to make it as if it's just eye contact. Now, when they start asking questions, when you're elaborating or explaining something, you can use expressions, but do not point at the people interviewing you. Obviously, that's going to be weird. You see, like where I'm talking right now, I'm expressing myself to you guys, and how probably this is exactly how I attend interviews myself. You have to be confident. You have to have everything in your fingertips. You remember you've prepared uh, for the interview, and then it's also just good as you're preparing. There's one point I forgot to tell you. While you're preparing, just make sure you also have an idea of what the organization you're applying for, or that you've been called upon to go and attend the interview. You know exactly what they do. You have to like at least have a view of, a panoramic view of everything of what they do. You know, okay. So like that, for example, if you're going to attend an interview with a company that is manufacturing drinks, you have to know when it started, maybe there were changes the big changes that were made public. Those are the things that you probably are supposed to know. You're supposed to know about the organization. Okay, so when you're being asked questions in the interview itself, you really have to be confident. Like I said, have eye contact. You can demonstrate. Then every time you're asked the question, always answer the question with the experience that you had in the industry or from a previous job, because that way it's very easy for you to actually relate to certain things. So, like for me, every time I never give examples out of my profession. I always give examples that have either had a challenge in that, and then I take that into a positive, or if I had, if I had a positive and they probably need a negative answer, I'll try to make it negative in a positive way. Okay. So, like for example, one thing is also there's certain questions that are going to be asked, like what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. Duh. They're not asking you to blackmail yourself there when they ask you about um, what are the negative things about you, what are the positive. You have to actually convert a positive. You have to get a positive and just keep it positive, okay? And the negative, you convert it into a positive, okay? So in the next video, I'll be talking about how Now you answer the questions in an interview. Okay, I'll be giving you examples, especially for those who've done sciences. I think for us, we're kind of a little bit poor when it comes to interviews, and also, you know, not so good. We're not so good in interviews, but people who have done social sciences and they are quite good because they practice these things whilst they are doing their university. But for us, it's a different thing altogether. It's science, so nobody cares about how to attend an interview. But thank you guys for watching the video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope that this year we're going to be consistent in uploading videos. Except Sunshine right now is not available to make videos with me, but nevertheless, I'll try to be vlogging as much as I can, and also try to make videos for you guys. I'll be making videos that are professionally related, and then those that are for fun. Yeah, and then also just videos, just normal vlogs. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Cheers.